happy Thursday. Last time I saw you, it was Monday. We were battling through Monday, which was a great Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday were just regular old days. Wednesday, I did have a meeting in the morning, so I wasn't here all in the morning. And so I just had like a half day on Wednesday because I didn't show up until after lunch after my meeting. And today's Thursday. We are at lunchtime, and yet again, my kids have been doing fabulous. Nothing special happened Tuesday, Wednesday. Everything has just been normal days. The only thing that was a little bit different, since we are working on writing, our writing assessment is due, I think, in 3 weeks, I think in 2 weeks. And so I'm getting them to write a expository text of, I know the prompt is how to save water. So we're doing a lot of how to. So we wrote a how to take care of a puppy. That was our first one. Yesterday, we wrote a booklet on how to raise a guide dog. We are reading a story from puppy to guide dog. I think that was called. We're on unit 4, week 5. And so it's a nonfiction text. And it was going over how the puppies are raised and then they become guide dogs to the deaf, the blind, or those that need help with movement. And so we wrote a how to. Monday, Tuesday, we did the how to raise a puppy, and Monday was more of a getting your information, and then we wrote it on Tuesday. Wednesday, since we've read the story 3 times, we just went right into writing. And so I found this, I'll link it below, but it just says how to. It comes just like this, and it has 4 steps. And so this one was easy, just to write 4 steps. And our comprehension skill of the week was sequence, and so this fit with our sequence. And so instead of writing first, second, or instead of writing it in the graphic organizer, I should say, we wrote it in like a little book, and we used that to do our expository practice of how to do something. So it comes like this. And so I printed it front, back, and it makes the book. And so we just wrote a how to. I let them have time to draw. So after they finished with our sentences, so we put first, next, then last for our 4th step. After we finished, I gave them time to search up Art Kids Hub, and they wrote dogs, and it showed up all the episodes of dogs direct draws. And so they picked one and they drew a dog on one of the pages, and if they had time they could color, or they can start drawing another one if they had time. So that was the different thing. Everything else has been the same. We've been doing our Lexia, we've been doing ST math doing groups, we have been doing our Zern for math. We are on telling time today. I'll do today later. We've been telling time with Zern, Engaged New York, Eureka Math. So we're on module 5, which is fractions, shapes, and now we're in time. And so brought out the little clocks. They enjoy using these. And so we've been using this. We are concentrating on hour and half hour. So that's what we did today. We are on lesson 12. I don't know how many lessons are in this module, so I'll have to see, but it was going over a lot of different things. So far I've had a grade for shapes, I've had a grade for fractions, and I'm gonna have a grade for time. And then we're gonna get into module 6, which is adding bigger numbers, adding and subtracting bigger numbers. And so that's gonna be a little bit harder, but it's like a nice little easy break, easy to come back to. And so we've been doing time. Today, what did we do? We came in, we did our reading. I am not pulling, I'm focusing on my 3 lower friends. 2 of them leave, of my 5 lower friends, 2 of them leave and they go to the reading teacher. So they are spending their time with the reading teacher, getting the phonics, high frequency words, reading that they need at their level. So she's meeting with those 2, and then I have 3. I have my 2 friends that are CVC words, and we're still trying to blend. And so we have those 2 friends, and then I have 1 friend who reads, and so she's sitting in front of me and she's reading her book in front of me. And then I'm focusing on these 2 friends. I do check in with her. I mean, she's right in front of me. There's only 3 of them. I do check in with her, listen to her read, help her out if she asks me a question. I'm trying to help these 2 friends blend, and it's proving to be difficult. We had, let me see, 5 friends take tests. It being the last trimester, they need to pass a test. And I say pass because my 5 friends that are with me, 2 of them, I don't have them take a test. They can't, they can't read. And then the other ones, they're still trying, so they need to do a test. If they pass it, great. If they just do a test, that's great with me. And it also gives me an independent reading grade because a lot of things that we do is together. And so first graders need to ask and answer questions. And if we are always reading things together, I don't know what their independent reading comprehension is. So that's why I'm focusing on AR tests right now. For those that are readers, they have to take a test a week. And pass. For those that are still learning to read, I would like them to attempt a test. If they attempt a test, they'll still get a grade, and I mark it off as them testing. And then my 2 friends that are not readers, I don't bother. They're reading those little tiny Bob books, so there's no tests to go with those. So that was reading. Math, we did our clocks, lesson 12. We did finish the lesson with a worksheet. This comes from, it doesn't say, so I'll link it, but it goes over half hour and hour, which we're focusing on. We still have, I think, 2 more lessons, and so we're gonna go over it more, but I wanna see who knows and who doesn't. I have about 3 friends that can't tell hour or half hour. And then a lot of them are still working. I'll say half the class is still working on telling time to the half hour. So in the math, we have 1 more lesson, and then it's gonna be a test, and then we move on to our other module. I'm gonna see how they did on the worksheets. If they did well, then I'll go ahead and do the 1 more lesson and then the test. If we didn't, which I'm thinking half hour is gonna be a problem, I'll go ahead and we'll do some of the lessons in my math, and that will be more practice for telling time to the half hour, and then we'll test. So we'll see once I grade those. We are doing our interactive read out loud, and so we are working on cause and effect with Too Many Carrots. I read it before break, but I only read it and did like 1 activity with it. So I'm using it again this week. And so we were doing cause and effect. I didn't read the whole entire story, so today is one of the days that I just go over the pages that they have on the lesson. And since we are doing it together, there's no chart that goes with it. So I don't do the chart, and I just read those pages. This one actually didn't have it read the pages, it just had me show the pictures, and we talked about it. So we looked at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages again, and we talked about what was happening. I asked questions, and then we worked on our worksheet. And again, since we don't do a poster, since we're doing a worksheet. We're at lunch, so when we come back, we have 1 more for cause and effect, and then we're going to turn into compound words, which I found some, are they called boom cards? That were cause and effect, so we did that yesterday. I have a quick video, and then we're going to use compound words for our groups. So I do groups Monday, Tuesday. Since Wednesdays are short day, I don't do it on Wednesdays, and then Thursday, Friday. So compound words are going to be my group, my center for word work. And then we're going to get into our reader this week. It's Thursday, so I do our phonics reader for the week, and this is going over how Y can say the E sound. So we're going to do some writing, and then after we do some writing, changing like a word ladder. So here's the word, here's, I don't know, lucky. Change a letter and make it say ducky. That's an example. I don't know what it says. It's in the book. And so we're going to do that, and then we'll get into reading. And then after we read this, they will sit with their baggies, and then they will have alone time to read from our baggies. And I only give them 8 minutes alone time, but it's just repeated reading, so that'll help with fluency. After that, we have our groups, so they're going to do that. And then writing is just going to be write about something you know about, an easy writing, and then they do have a space to draw. After that, we're going to get into our writing of, I think I put like how to take care of the planet or how to help the planet. Again, it's going to help with our writing assessment of how to do something. And so we're going to do that today. We're just going to watch the video just to watch it. And then we're gonna watch the video again, and I'm gonna give them papers to write notes, and they have to think of 3 ways they can help the environment. And then we'll use this tomorrow to write our how-to paragraph. That's what we do when we come back from lunch. We are reading our second story. So it's Coco and Penny. So I'm gonna try to find YouTubes of Coco the gorilla. Coco learned sign language. And so I'm gonna see if I can find some videos that show Coco on YouTube, so that way they can see more of a gorilla doing sign language. And then we're gonna get into commas in a series, and I need to do our math journal, and I haven't started our writing journal because I ran out of time. So I probably am gonna move it. To me, it was like no big deal if I don't get to it, but I didn't get to it Monday, I didn't get to it Tuesday, and I didn't get to it Wednesday. So if I want them to do more writing, I need to make sure I get to it. So I'm probably gonna have to move at the beginning of the day. And so next week I'll change the order and put it as first thing in the week. So that way we come in, they sit, they write, and then I take roll during that time, and I'll move them into reading from there. Or I might do math and then reading. So we'll see. Next week I'll change order so that way I can get my more writing in, because I haven't gotten it yet. I'm gonna go eat lunch, and I'll see you after school. If you haven't done so, press the like button, subscribe to my channel. It helps motivate me. It's after school. I like looking at my hair at the end of the day and thinking what happened. It's after school. Let's see, where I left off was we were gonna listen to Coco and Penny from Wonders Unit 4, Week 5. And I found 2 videos from PBS, and they were really short. And it showed video of Coco and Penny, and it started, one of them was like part of the second one, and it showed Coco when she was small, and it just talked about how they learned and how Coco needed a mom, and so Penny filled that role, and that's why they bonded so well. And then we tried to watch the second one, but it said stupid in it, and that set them off. So I had to turn it off, and they really wanted to watch it, but like 2 of them were having a hard time. Usually I try to skip those. Usually if it happens, I try to ignore it because it's not a school word, as I tell them. So some of them were having a hard time with that, so I stopped it and I said maybe we'll watch it later. But I did show them how to do the alphabet in sign language, and I showed them the little bit of sign language I know. So they liked that, and that was basically like the end of my day. So we did that, but what I didn't say is also we're doing the STAR test. It's this week and next week. I do the first week, it's just take the test. I time it for 15 minutes, and then we stop. And then we finish it the next day, those that needed to finish. Monday, Tuesday, we did math. And then Wednesday, Thursday, today we did early lit. Monday, do for 15 minutes, and then I tell them to stop. That's enough. We finish it on Tuesday, or started on Tuesday if you weren't here on Monday. And then Wednesday, Thursday, we did early lit, same thing, 15 minutes, and then I stopped. And then Thursday, today, we did whoever needed to finish or start it if you weren't here. Next week, I look at who went down, whose scores went down. Sometimes the scores go up, but their color doesn't match, like it's not green because they grew, but they didn't grow as expected to hit benchmark right now. So even though they grew, it's not benchmark. But so I look at the numbers. So if they go down, I have them test again because we shouldn't be going down. When they test again, they test in front of me. So next week's groups are going to be 3 kids in a group, and they are going to test if they went down in front of me. And then those that didn't finish will have time to finish. When they do it in front of me, I have them put the iPads down flat so that way I can see it too. So that way I know if they're really looking at it. I can hear them read it if they need to read something. Also, I read it to them for the math if theirs isn't reading to them. So it's supposed to read to them because then it gets into, you're not testing math, you're testing comprehension, you're testing reading. So I read it to them if it's not reading to them. And then that way I get their scores and see, they did take their time because they had to, because they were in front of me, and it was read to them for the math. So that way I know it's not a reading problem, it's a math problem. So I had, let me see, today we did 4. So 4 friends retook their test. I think it was 3 math and then 1 did early lit. Early lit talks to them, so they have to have volume for that one. So that's why I only do 3 at a time. And I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say, girl, you take too many days off, but I'm taking tomorrow off. My kids have been home on their spring break all this week. So I have 4 kids. 3 are teenagers, preteen, and then I have my 7-year-old. They've been home. I've been going home at lunch just to check up on them, make sure my house is okay, make sure my dog's okay, make sure the 7-year-old's fed. And so I've been going home, and we decided that since they've been home all week, we'll try to do something this weekend. So husband and I are taking tomorrow off to spend time with our kids on their spring break. And then I'll be here Monday, and I will finish my week Monday and start my new week on Tuesday. So that's my plan. So I made my sub plans yesterday, which was really easy because I have like a template on my Google Docs, and I used the Moffat Girls, I think it was April, just like worksheets, print and go worksheets. And so I just pulled a whole bunch of Moffat Girls stuff. For next week, I have like Earth Day for Monday. I gave them like an Earth Day project because Earth Day is next Saturday. So we'll do Earth Day activities next week. They're doing an activity for retail for Too Many Carrots practice book pages that we always do. Writing, I'm having connected to a direct draw from Art Kids Hub. I'm looking at my sub plans here. And then they have going over time, a review of time. They have contractions and compound words, which we're going over to this week. And then I gave them a word search that's going over spring. And the last thing I have in there is for them to watch a YouTube video of Magic School Bus, which is like about 25 minutes. And so they'll pick one of the episodes of Magic School Bus and they'll watch that. So that's my sub plans for the whole entire day. I tend to have extra work. So at the bottom, it just says extra. And then there's a couple of pages there from the Moffat Girls pack of extra things that they can do in case they have time. Plus they do ST Math, they do Lexia, they do reading, and they do Zern. So that's all in my day. It's all right here. It's ready to go. And then I cleaned up my desk because I cleaned off my desk. I'm looking at it. I cleaned off my desk because they need a spot to sit and put their stuff. I have my M&Ms here for AR tests, and also I put some M&Ms for their soul if they needed it, because it is going to be a Friday with first graders. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna clean up my desk just a little bit more so that way they have a spot for themselves, and I'm gonna head out. So this is the end of my week. This is my Friday, and I will see you next week. So I'm gonna get going. Everything's here ready for tomorrow. Hopefully they have a good day. I forgot to tell them, so I'll send out a quick message on Dojo that I will not be here tomorrow. It just helps a couple of them get settled with the day, knowing that I'm not gonna be here and they're ready for that. But I'm gonna head out. It's my Friday, so I hope you had a great week. I will see you next week, and thank you for watching.